Night had barely broken over the Mojave when a dark shape lifted from the runway. Silent, angular, almost alien. Only a handful of people watched as it vanished into the desert sky. Its flight recorded, but never publicly acknowledged. Officials called it a test article. Engineers called it the future. Long before the press learned its name, it was already rewriting the idea of air combat. To understand how we reached that secret morning, we need to rewind. Back to when America's most advanced fighter, the F-22 Raptor, was still untouchable, and yet already becoming obsolete. When the F-22 Raptor entered service in the mid-2000s, it was more than a fighter jet. It was a declaration of unmatched air dominance. Stealth shaping, thrust vectoring engines, and sensor fusion gave the United States complete control of the skies. But its perfection came at a cost, literally. Each Raptor carried a price tag exceeding $150 million, and its maintenance demands were staggering. Its stealth coating required constant attention, and logistics meant the jet could spend more time on the ground than airborne. Budget constraints, paired with shifting political priorities, froze production at just 187 airframes. By 2012, the production lines shut down, and the aircraft that had no equal suddenly had no successor. Meanwhile, the rest of the world wasn't standing still. China's J-20 stealth fighter and Russia's Su-57 entered development, each designed explicitly to challenge the aging Raptor. Inside the Pentagon, policymakers started to realize that technological supremacy could erode faster than expected. The F-35 was supposed to fill that gap, but its highly complex software, cost overruns, and extended development time revealed deeper issues. The Air Force needed an answer that wasn't just another fighter, it needed a new philosophy. That idea emerged under a program quietly referred to as the Next Generation Air Dominance Initiative, NGAD. This time, the goal wasn't merely to design a superior jet, it was to reinvent how air combat worked entirely. NGAD would merge human decision-making with machine precision, resulting in what commanders described as a system of systems. Rather than relying on one platform, it would form a family of networked aircraft. A manned mothership would lead, flanked by loyal, semi-autonomous drones. Unlike the F-35's prolonged cycle, NGAD development would move digitally and rapidly. Using digital twins and virtual testing, engineers could create, test, and refine designs before a single prototype hit the runway. In 2002, officials revealed a quiet bombshell. A full-scale demonstrator had already flown. That aircraft, built in record time, proved the approach worked. As the F-22's legend faded to history, its replacement had already taken shape under a classified veil. The Air Force was no longer chasing the next generation. It was secretly flying it. So what defines NGAD, and why is it often called the world's first true sixth-generation aircraft? To understand that, we have to look beyond the familiar checklist of speed, agility, and stealth. NGAD doesn't just outperform older jets, it thinks differently. Every aspect from its shape to its code was built around adaptability. First is stealth, an evolution rather than a repetition. NGAD allegedly features new composite materials that reduce radar reflection and infrared signature across a wider spectrum. Rumors suggest no vertical stabilizers, relying instead on advanced flight control algorithms to maintain stability without compromising stealth. Its design theory is simple. If you can't detect it, you can't fight it. But stealth alone no longer guarantees dominance. The battlefield of the 2030s will be saturated with sensors, directed energy defenses, and long-range missiles. NGAD addresses this by becoming part of an ecosystem, a network of cooperating assets constantly sharing situational data through the so-called combat cloud. The jet no longer fights alone, it's a node in a real-time web of machines. At the core of that transformation is artificial intelligence. NGAD's onboard AI acts as an ever-learning co-pilot, an intelligent assistant capable of handling threat prioritization, sensor management, and even flight decisions under extreme conditions. The system uses machine learning to identify new patterns of radar or missile behavior adapting in real time. The pilot isn't being replaced, but augmented, freed from mechanical tasks to focus on combat strategy. That symbiosis extends to the loyal wingman concept. a major leap in aerial warfare. Each NGAD unit may control up to several autonomous drones, each with specialized roles, carrying extra missiles, deploying decoys, or gathering reconnaissance. Controlled by secure data links, these unmanned companions respond to voice commands or situational intent. In effect, one human pilot commands an aerial squadron of intelligent machines. Supporting all this complexity requires flexible software. That's where NG open systems architecture becomes essential. Unlike the F-22's outdated hardware-locked systems that made upgrades painfully slow, NG digital backbone allows new features to be integrated almost instantly. Software patches can be deployed in days, and entirely new combat modules can be tested without dismantling the aircraft. It's not a fixed design, but a living platform, one that evolves as threats evolve. Underneath all of this, there's another revolutionary piece of technology: the propulsion system. NGAD is expected to use an adaptive or variable cycle engine program, developed by General Electric and Pratt & Whitney. These can shift between modes for maximum power or maximum efficiency, offering unprecedented range and thrust. Early estimates suggest near hypersonic capability in burst speeds and fuel efficiency that doubles operational radius. For a fighter meant to dominate vast Pacific distances, that's vital. Then there's sensor fusion, the digital perception of the aircraft. NG sensor suite is rumored to cover a near 360-degree sphere, tracking air and ground threats simultaneously. Its communications network is encrypted against quantum computing intrusions, ensuring secure coordination across global theaters. More strikingly, the aircraft can perform cognitive electronic warfare, scanning enemy frequencies, predicting jamming tactics, and countering them autonomously in milliseconds. The leap from 5th generation to 6th generation mirrors history. When the F-15 debuted in the 1970s, it shattered the performance standards of its era. The F-22 did the same 3 decades later with stealth and agility. Now, NGAD magnifies that leap by combining physical performance with digital cognition. It's the first combat aircraft designed to think in combat. While the Air Force keeps the actual prototypes under wraps, artists and analysts have pieced together hints from official images and patent filings. Angular, tailless geometries, deep weapon bays, and exhaust systems designed to suppress infrared emissions. Some believe multiple variants exist, different configurations for air superiority, strike, and command roles, sharing a digital core but tailored airframes. Globally, NGAD United States at the head of a race already unfolding. China is reportedly working on its own 6th-generation fighter, sometimes called the JXX, while Europe's FCAS and Tempest projects pursue similar ambitions with joint industrial backing. Yet NG's digital-first philosophy gives it a lead time others struggle to match. Its rapid prototype cycle allows a new aircraft version every few years instead of decades. But more than hardware, NGAD repilots role. The human at the center becomes less of an operator and more of a mission commander, overseeing multiple streams of data, orchestrating AI assets, and deciding where human judgment still outweighs algorithms. Inside the cockpit, augmented reality displays merge sensor feeds from drones and satellites into one panoramic view. The line between the air and digital domains essentially disappears. Outside experts often describe this as cognitive combat, a scenario in which victory depends on decision tempo as much as speed or firepower. The aircraft that can process, decide, and act fastest wins. NGAD's AI systems are not just aids, but multipliers, designed to compress that decision cycle to a fraction of a second. Secrecy remains part of the weapon. By keeping visuals, specifications, and performance data classified, the Air Force creates uncertainty for adversaries. They don't know what to counter. Yet that secrecy has sparked endless speculation. Is the demonstrator already flying operational sorties? How many prototypes exist? Are field units training alongside F-22s under special programs? The answers remain sealed behind black budgets and code names. Still, evidence hints at an aircraft designed around flexibility. NGAD may be crafted in modular sections, nose, wings, fuselage, that can be replaced or redesigned digitally between production runs. This allows rapid iterations without full remanufacture, aligning with the Air Force's Digital Century Series philosophy: short, evolutionary design lives driven by data rather than decades-long procurement. While speculation fills the gaps, one fact is certain: NGAD represents an intersection of human intuition and machine intelligence unlike anything before it. It's stealth meeting cognition, autonomy guided by empathy. A fighter conceived not merely to win dogfights, but to control entire theaters of battle through information dominance. As the program stays largely in shadows, one truth emerges: its real value doesn't rest solely in its frame or engines, but in the philosophy behind it. NGAD isn't about a single jet. It's about rewriting the rules of modern warfare and redefining what it means to command the sky. Behind closed doors, Pentagon planners saw more than a new aircraft taking shape. They saw a new strategy for warfare. NGAD wasn't conceived as a replacement in name only. It was the cornerstone of a doctrine built for a world where the skies are no longer safe. Airspace, once dominated by American fifth-generation fighters, is now crowded with radar networks, stretching thousands of miles, missile systems capable of shooting down stealth aircraft, and drone swarms testing defensive limits. In that contested environment, survival means transformation. The first question was always strategic: why invest hundreds of billions into something this complex? The answer lies in deterrence. As China deploys its own stealth aircraft and expands anti-access zones across the Pacific, and as Russia integrates long-range hypersonic systems, the U.S. Air Force needs a fighter that can both penetrate these networks and command the data war surrounding them. NGAD's ability to identify, adapt, and orchestrate multiple systems simultaneously becomes a weapon of perception. It doesn't only threaten enemies, it confuses them. At the macro level, America's doctrine is shifting from platform superiority to networked dominance. The old model focused on having the best jet. The new one focuses on who commands the data cloud linking every satellite, drone, ship, and pilot. NGAD sits at the core of this combat cloud, exchanging information faster than human reaction allows. Every sensor across the battlefield becomes part of a single distributed mind, and the NGAD pilot directs its flow like a conductor in midair. That new mindset also changes the economics of air combat. Traditional fighters followed assembly line manufacturing, slow, heavy, and expensive. NG development model borrows from the software world: create, test, refine, and rebuild in cycles measured in months. Using digital twins and virtual production, designers can model wear, test new composites, or even swap engine configurations without pausing the system. Each design iteration becomes a generation of its own. The goal is continuous superiority rather than one masterpiece that outlasts decades. Budget analysts often raise eyebrows at the program's cost projections, numbers that may reach into the hundreds of billions. Yet military officials argue that such investment isn't optional. Modern deterrence depends on credibility, and credibility in aerospace means maintaining technological overmatch. In an age where hypersonic missiles can reach targets at Mach 10 and autonomous drones can jam satellites, only a multi-layered adaptive system ensures the survival of manned operations. NGAD embodies that insurance. But with secrecy comes paradox. A hidden weapon's strength lies in surprise, yet its invisibility reduces deterrence value. Rivals can't fear what they can't confirm. That tension forces a delicate balance. Show enough to demonstrate capability, conceal enough to protect advantage. Glimpses released by the Air Force hint at confidence. Digital renderings, design patents, and limited test footage all suggest a program that's real, functional, and far ahead of assumptions. Industrially, NGAD changes how the U.S. defense sector operates. Instead of one or two mega contractors on projects, it uses modular procurement, separate teams building sensors, propulsion, or AI modules interoperable by design. Smaller, faster production runs give flexibility and keep pressure on innovation. This decentralization may mark a return to Cold War-era efficiency, when competition between firms rapidly advanced aerospace engineering. Internationally, the program has ripple effects. Allies like the UK, Japan, and Australia are aligning projects and data links to remain connected when NGAD becomes fully operational. Some may even adopt derivative technologies for their future fighters. At the same time, export restrictions ensure that the most critical systems, AI cores, quantum-secure networks, adaptive engines, stay exclusive to US forces. Inevitably, this exclusivity fuels a new arms race, pushing adversaries toward their own 6th-generation ecosystems. For the pilots, the shift is more personal. The next generation of aviators won't only train for air combat, they'll train for command over fleets of airborne intelligence. In future war games, one NGAD commander may coordinate drone escorts, reconnaissance nodes, and even electronic warfare satellites. It's less Top Gun and more tactical network orchestration. The agility of thought becomes as vital as the aircraft's thrust. All of this leads to a broader battlefield vision. Tomorrow's air dominance won't look like close-range dogfight. It will blur into cyber operations, electronic deception, and AI-coordinated missile strikes hundreds of miles away. Victory will hinge on decision speed. The aircraft that interprets, predicts, and executes faster wins. NGAD's architecture is designed exactly for that reality. By the time full public acknowledgement arrives, the era of single-seat air superiority could already be over. NGAD won't just patrol airspace, it will define how all aerial assets communicate, fight, and survive in an environment shaped by digital warfare. What began as a classified reaction to foreign innovation has become the playbook for 21st century air power. The F-22 once defined dominance through unmatched maneuverability and stealth. NGAD moves beyond both. It integrates intellect, autonomy, and connectivity into a single organism of air power. When that first black triangle silhouette disappeared into the Mojave Dawn, it didn't just mark another test flight. It quietly signaled the dawn of cognitive warfare.
The real story isn't only about new engines or radar cross-sections. It's about understanding that the next battles will be waged as much through code as through missiles. Air superiority is evolving from control of altitude to, quote, control of information.
The next unseen transformation in aerial warfare is already underway. Stay with us to uncover it, and subscribe to Military Air for more stories behind the machines shaping tomorrow's sky.